welcome to Traveling Young on this Friday, which is New Year's Eve, the last day of 2021. And we've got Maya with us on the couch.
I am here. I haven't been here in a while, and I'm back.
She's back. What we wanted to talk about with you guys is what things have changed us about Denmark and this channel in 2021 as we move into 2022, which starts tomorrow. Miranda's going to start.
I'm going to start, and I'm going to say it right now. I fell in love with Yuland, and you can shade me for that if you want, but I really liked it. We spent so much time in Yuland over the summer, and actually we've taken a bunch of trips over to Yuland throughout the year, and I just fell in love with it. I love everywhere we go. I especially loved, you're not going to believe it, Randers.
Hey, this week on Traveling Young, we're at the Memphis Mansion.
In the Randers Reinskov.
Here in Randers, Denmark. Because Randers has the Randers Reinskov, which I loved. I absolutely love that. And also the Elvis Museum, the
soon to be Johnny Cash.
Johnny Cash Museum as well. And the name is escaping me, and I'm so sorry.
Memphis Mansion.
Mansion, yes. But yeah, I fell in love with Yuland.
Okay. Well, before we go to Maya, there is one change that's going to happen now that goes into next year, and that's a brand new intro that I've been working on. So let's just
take a look.
Let's just see it. How about the intensity of that? I mean, it's like fast-paced. It's shorter, but it's more intense. There's lots of little details that maybe people will watch it more than once to try to see them all. I don't know. I have to watch it multiple times to make sure that...
He's very proud of himself. As you should be. You've done a lot of editing.
Yeah, that was a bit of work. It's new stuff. I like learning new stuff, and that was
fun
new.
Times.
Yeah. Maya?
On to me. I think in general, just with school and everything, I learned to just... This is going to sound really just cliche and boring, but just believe in myself a little more. I know we briefly talked about this in the school video and everything, but back in, I think, April, I had to take the entrance exam to get into gymnasium, and I took it one time, and I failed. And then I took it again, and I passed, and I had an almost perfect Danish score, and now I'm going to a Danish gymnasium, and I'm doing a lot better than I thought I would. So I think just, in general, just believing in myself a little bit more.
Well, so you've caught up to us because we've believed in you this whole time.
Oh, that's very sweet. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, that's good life lesson.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so I'm going to wrap up, and this is, I mean, it's not completely like Miranda's, but I will say this, and this is where I'm going to be honest. Here's a map of all the places that we went in Denmark in 2019. As you can see, there weren't very many places. That was the last year before.
A little scarce.
That was our first full year here.
Yes.
And the last full year before the pandemic. But if you compare that to 2021 and all the places that we went to in Denmark, it's dramatically different. And so what changed me a bit with this channel as a help and just in general is a greater appreciation for all of the country. Yuland, of course, being one of the places as we traveled a ton around Yuland over the summer and other times, but just in general and appreciating, all the things that there is to see and do that aren't big cities necessarily. There's so much interesting history and interesting stuff of all shapes and sizes all around the country, and I've learned a ton. And it's so cool to now it hit me that there's this whole bucket of history and things that I can learn that I didn't know about before because it wasn't a part of things we learned in school growing up. And so I'm just super excited about all the places we'll go and see next year, all the new people we'll meet, all the new museums we'll get to see and new places we'll get to go in Denmark because it's been a radical change for me, and I regret not really taking advantage of Denmark more before, but I'm glad that I've changed.
Yeah,
I
think it's just kind of nice. I personally just like knowing names of towns and stuff.
I mean, I can't say them, but I know how to spell them.
I mean, I can kind of say them,
yeah.
but sometimes people at school be like, oh yeah, my family lives in blah blah, you probably don't know what that is. And I'm like, oh no, I've been there. They're like, what?
Yeah,
I was talking to somebody today and I was asking about things they're doing, like, oh yeah, we're gonna go to Fanu. I'm like, oh, I was just there.
Yeah.
Like, what? Yeah, I just went there.
And I have loved learning about all the regional differences, with everything and like food and all that kind of stuff. And like Josh said, just learning about the history has been so much fun. And it just makes me want to keep going back to all these places that we go to.
I think it's also nice, like, socially for me, like, kind of catching up with Danish, like, humor about Danish places. Like, because, like, now when people at school, like, maybe make a joke about some town, they're like, oh, yeah, that's a their thing. I get it now. I relate. I understand the jokes now.
Yeah.
And so I think, to sum that up, we have a lot to thank for the channel for that, because it's been one of the motivating factors in getting us out and doing more and getting more excited about things to come and new ideas for content for next year, seeing even more of Denmark and experiencing more things. So this has a lot to do with that. So you've been responsible for this transformational metamorphosis-ish. I wasn't a science major.
But you guys are the ones who tell us places to go, so we love that. Keep it coming. Keep telling us places to go and things to do and things to try.
And I love hearing all your stories about gymnasium every time I talk about gymnasium.
Well, and you've got some school updates that you want to make in the new year.
Yes,
that's
soon enough there will be some school updates. Since I've now been there for half of my first year of gymnasium.
All right, well, guys, the fireworks, if they haven't already started,
of course
they have, are about to start. We need to go out and just enjoy New Year's in Denmark, which is like we always need to be here on New Year's Eve, because it's crazy, it's exciting, and today's no different. So Happy New Year to everybody.
Go Nytår.
Can't wait till next year, and we'll say goodbye.
Bye.